Everybody ignore that picture, please. Ignore that picture.
And?
I screenshotted it. No, black girl. Love the bangs.
Gotta change it up. That's my dad. Guy loved tigers and lions and all that stuff. He would get into the cages with them.
That was my favorite scene.
Guy is a baby. And that's his sister.
Dad cried apparently.
They don't know.
Looks good.
That's what you want to see, right? Yeah. Where is it? You'll see it.
My back cam just died. I don't know what's up.
Is it a battery? Go to the speaker then, because they'll start as soon as you're ready.
They're just fixing the live stream right now.
Yeah, I know. No, I think it's still available. Yeah, I was like, that's fine. I like that. Yeah, and then I get like, I'm like,
They were the nicest.
Thank you all for coming today. I know my dad would be happy to see every single one of you, because he would know that he was loved and cared for. And my heart swells seeing so many people that I didn't even know that he touched their lives, because that's what my dad did. Every person he knew, no matter how long he knew you, he treated everyone like family. And that's how it was. Even when my brother, Marisa, and all three of us, when I first met him, it didn't matter that I wasn't his kid. It didn't matter I wasn't his blood. I was his. questions. He'd be there in 5 minutes to help you no matter what you needed to do. That man was the only father I ever knew, and I loved him. I'm happy that I got the chance to call him my father. I thank every single one of you because he'd be there in 5 minutes to help you no matter what you needed to do. That man was the only father I ever knew, and I loved him. I'm happy that I got the chance to call him my father. I thank every single one of you because chance to call him my father.
on speaking.
We're good to go? Dino, you can hear me now? All right, listen, I'm going to start, bro. We got everybody here and people are getting hungry and whatnot. All right. I'm actually very good at public speaking. So I had to do this when my father passed, and I got to do it when one of my best friends passed. So just give me a little bit of time here and there. First, I want to thank everybody for coming today. With everything going on, everything normal, people who came in from out of town, I really do appreciate it. Mike, Teresa, Steve, Dawn, Gloria, Dennis, Eddie and Julia, Lisa, I just met her husband and her son. I got to give a lot of credit to our good friend Dino back home, who put the word out on social media and got the word out on our good friend's passing, and everybody is at home tuning in to listen right now. So thank you, Dino, Big Stu, Big Eric. You did it too. Got the word out to all guys, gym bros, softball bros, everybody. And I used to joke with him because we used to go to a lot of ball games, this, that, and the other thing. And I used to joke with him about being the mayor of South Florida. So if I don't say anybody's name here, it's not because I'm forgetting anybody or I didn't think of you. It's just we would be here all night with that lineup right after. Right? We couldn't go to a Braves game or a Marlins game down back south and without stopping 100 times before we got had our regular tickets punched. But that was just him. He was larger than life. And you're gonna hear. I'm gonna say a few things today that are gonna be tough. But first of all, I have to say, Mr. DiCarlo, I just want to tell you that you and Mrs. DiCarlo raised a good man. You did it right, and I'm the father of 2 boys. As parents, we don't ever look or need to be complimented. But I wanted to say it. I enjoyed Guy's stories of his childhood, historical trips, to all the Civil War museums and forts. And I would tell him, hey, I just went here, I went to Fort Sumter, and he would say, been there. And I enjoyed every one of that because I'm quite a history buff, and my brother was a history major in college, so it was always part of my family before I became part of the Guy and Gloria's family. Gloria, God truly loved you. Right? I appreciate all the hanging out, all the coffees, the dinners at your house. I mean, the ball games. I can't tell you how much fun I had being around watching your kids grow up. It's young men and young women. They're good kids. I know he was proud of them. And I'm always a call away, you know that. He was always a call away from me. You guys will hear about that. Thank you for including me in your family. So to the kids, Chris, Tyler, Marisa, Crista, I want you to think about all the good memories of your dad. He'll always be with you. I lost my father when I was really young, so I don't have many good memories. That's kind of where the cheat factor is. It hurts more as you get older, right? Because you have more memories. I don't even remember playing catch with my dad, okay? Or watching a ball game or anything like that. I had many conversations. He was very proud of you all. And it's good to hear from other people about that, but, he only wanted the best for you. And I know at times as you're growing up, you thought he was too hard, he was busting chops. But I can tell you from my own view as a parent, that was your dad's style. That's our job. We have to prepare you for the world. And we all have different ways of going about it. I'm sure you will use some of those in your life lessons as you move forward when you guys start families of your own. So today, to all my friends back on the internet, I'm going to ask everyone to do 2 things today, and this is going to sting. It really is. This is going to sting for me for a long time. I want you to, 1, remember how or where or when you first met Guy and all the good times. And 2, this is the sting part. I want you to remember where you were when you heard the news of Guy's passing. This is going to sting for a long time for a lot of us. My number 1, I met Guy 20 plus years ago. Where else? At the softball club. Right? On the softball field, we hit it off. And the years of friendship have flown by. I remember meeting a guy, and he walked up and he said, hey, and I looked at him and I retired as I'm a retired police officer. And we were always sizing people up, you know, just because if you're there by yourself, you know, I remember looking at this guy, hear this guy yell, "Hey," it was that tone like I owed him money. And I turned around and I thought to myself, shit, maybe I'll get 1 or 2 good looks in before somebody has to jump on his back. Right? But we hit it off, and I can't tell you the conversations and everything we had. So this is my number 2. This is what stings for me. I was in Publix with my 8-year-old son, Finnegan. I received a call from Gloria. Tears immediately were running down my face. She probably told the story 100 times that day. And my 8-year-old son kept asking, "Dad, what's wrong?" And I couldn't say nothing because I would have lost it in Publix. So my son's Brennen, who's 12, who's in the autism spectrum, very high functioning, brilliant boy, always hit it off with Guy. And my younger son, Finnegan, who's 8, they adored him. He was larger than life. When certain things happened or I needed to run into work, he would watch them and dog for me at a moment's notice. He was that guy. It was Mr. Guy or Uncle Guy. It was one of those things. And they loved going to see him because they could run up and down the stairs in his house, throw their toys down the stairs, and they got all the snacks they could have. So when I got that phone call, Gloria handed the phone off to her mother, who several years ago, I was already part of the family, and we dealt with another family tragedy. And Gloria's father passed. And it was like, kind of like deja vu. She finished telling me the details. And as I got off the phone, I didn't even remember walking out in Publix, going to my truck. And I had no idea because it was surreal to me. And I was like, my friend's gone. That's horseshit. It really is. It's not fair, you know? So the funny thing is, my 8-year-old was right by my side, and I was leaning against my truck. And then when I got off the phone with Gloria, I looked down, the groceries were in the truck, the cart was put over where it should have been, and Finnegan was sitting in the truck with a seatbelt on. I don't remember any of it happened. And I was crying my eyes out. 235-pound man in public, people walking by, and I just couldn't stop. So that's why this is going to sting for a long time for me. And I was very, very impressed how my son reacted, and I was very proud of him. He's a good boy. So my friend Guy. I will miss my friend dearly. I don't say that lightly. I'll miss our friend, our conversations, our hanging out, dumbass texts we send each other. You know, the last time me and him talked, he texted me, I was sitting on the couch for the national championship game. His beloved Ohio State was playing. And I grew up without a dad in house, so I really didn't play football as a baseball guy. I'm going to miss our conversations where every game I ever watched when I asked, "Hey, why are they doing that?" And he would be patient to tell me the defense, the offensive scheme. It was kind of our way to kind of convince him watching the ball game. I'm going to miss his cooking. Because let me tell you something, he could cook a mean London broil, and I haven't had better sausage and peppers. Never have. He was like an older brother to me. He was a great sounding board. The 2 toughest decisions I made in my adult life, he was my first phone call. It's like, "Hey, what's up, brother?" I told him. And I shared a little bit with Chris and Tyler a little bit last night about what those conversations were. And you know, he had that whole saying like, "Hey, when we get off the phone, we're all good," you know. And I think a lot of people can say one thing of Guy is, if I didn't talk for Guy for a year and it never went more than like a week, we always picked up like we just saw each other. And everybody in this room, between friends and family, I'm going to say less than a handful for me. And I think that in our lives, we're going to have a few, maybe 5 at the most, friends that are going to be the ones that are always going to be there for you. But if I say, "Hey, something just happened, bring a shovel," they might show up. Because I truly believe that the rest of those people are going to disappoint us in our time of need, whether it's family or not. And I'm sorry I have to say that. But my friend wasn't one of those people. He was grabbing a shovel, he was grabbing a rope, he was doing whatever I asked him to do. Short notice. And the real kick in the gut for me here is, kept saying, "Hey, you gotta come up, you gotta bring the boat, you gotta bring the boat up here, you gotta play golf." Yeah, we're getting a house recon, this, that kind of thing. And you know, it's just life happens and whatnot, but we were getting close. And and I'm gonna digress for a second, because I don't know, it was probably 6 months, so 6 months earlier, I got a phone call at like 11:30 at night from Gloria. And I chewed her ass right away. Why are you calling me so late? What's wrong? What happened? This, that, and the other thing. And she's like, oh, I just on the way home from a work function, so of course I had to apologize. And then when I got that call, that is going to bother me for a long time. I didn't sleep well last night, knew we were coming here today, and a lot of us probably did it. But I'm not gonna have my friend there anymore. And I know that. And it sucks. I'm a grown man and I've been around a lot. And for me to sit here and tell you that my friend was a great man. We all have our faults, but he was a great man. And I think everybody in this room and everybody watching back at home will agree with me. And that's, to me, what hurts the most and what's gonna sting is now when I need something, and maybe I'm being selfish, I need to pick that phone up. My instinct will be to start calling Guy, and I know he's not gonna be there. So like I said, do that number 1 and that number 2 for me, and we'll always remember him. It's gonna sting, and rightfully so, because he was such a great man. And with that said, I'm done bumping my gums. Love you, Guy. Can't believe you're not here, brother. Thank you.
If anybody else would have anything nice to say, please, you're more than welcome to come and speak. All is welcome. Dennis.
I'm the follow along more or less of the situation, but I want to thank Guy Senior for being part of. I could have met Guy Junior without you. And first day, like I'm going to continue the MO is help me feel like family. I just met him. Gloria had mentioned that she kind of used him as her bodyguard everywhere she went. And then being also in law enforcement for many years, I was ready for it. And I looked at it and said, well, I'll shoot him from across the street. But I threw him some curves. You know, he about his cooking, and then he put make a nice meal, smell terrific, and then I don't eat pork. He said, you're Cuban, and you don't eat pork. I don't eat red meat. And he said, oh, so we ate a lot together. He graciously would cook turkey or chicken for me. And I said, you don't have to. And it's one of the pleasant things that he really always made it a point to make sure I was being taken care of. You know, the rest of the family, he loved to feed. Also threw him a curve playing golf. He being a tough competitor. I mean, I'm good at softball, baseball, and football, but golf, and I just show up, right? My son, and grandson, and son-in-law also can tell you, I'm the comic relief for the team every time. We go play golf after the first tournament we played. From then on, we go play golf. He gave me 2 or 3 sleeves. He said, "Here, you're gonna need these." Every time he couldn't believe it. So, thought I'd throw a little comic relief here for you all because we all miss him. We spent Saturday night, the night before with him. It was a good time. He was kind of rough on the breathing, and I knew something was wrong with him. But he stuck it out, and we finished what we were doing. And again, what did he do? Feed me. You know, literally they order out and something that I could eat. It just neat. I'm adopted into this. Being part of, I appreciate being part of, and again, thank y'all for being here. Anyone else that wanna come on, neighbors? Oh, one more thing. I got it. No, hang on. I been around a long time with different companies working for, and I have to say, Lennar Homes have been so supportive of Gloria and Regina and Joe and the rest of the people from the company. I don't remember the names. I wear a name tag, so I remember mine. So I'm impressed. And I said, if I was her, I'd be an employee for life. Thank you so much for being so good and supplying all that you have.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah Hine. I've been the neighbor of Guy Sr. for my entire life, and so I've gotten the opportunity to know them very well. So thank you for being here today to celebrate the life of Guy Jr., a family member, a friend, and mentor. From the time of knowing Guy, he was someone who I became very close with because of his unquestionable nature of compassion, selflessness, wisdom, and generosity. Guy displayed an exemplary example of the golden rule and biblical phrase, love thy neighbor, something I really didn't understand the true magnitude of or value until I met him. And as someone who lived next door to him, he was the golden standard of a neighbor, and that's something that I consider rare today. He was someone who would go out of his way to better the lives of those he cared about, and always think of them and not himself. He would bring our trash to the street, cut our grass, check in on us, our house, whatever need be, and he would never say a word when doing those kind of things because he was not looking for praise or acknowledgement, because it was something that came naturally to him. That is the type of person he was. Generous and always looking to help where he could. I will miss having him blasting rock music on his way home from work and chatting for long periods of time. I look forward to it. We would bond over the bands we equally shared mutual love for, and I never expected to have so much in common with someone who had spontaneously appeared in my life. My first EDM concert, an electric dance music concert I ever went to, was with Guy and Gloria, and to be honest, that was one of the most fun concerts I had ever been to. We would jam out, have drinks, and bond over our love for music, and he had a knack for always having everyone a good time and spreading positivity. A life perspective we can all strive to achieve. I never knew someone could have such an impact on me in such a little time frame. He was there for me and my family when we needed a cry, a laugh, or share hard experiences, and he never cast a judgment. Only an ear to listen and offer advice. One conversation I will cherish for the rest of my life was one based on expressing how thankful I was that he and Gloria were there for us during difficult times. He shrugged, smiled, and said, "For family, that's what we do." He always emphasized not to stress over little things and to live life to the fullest with no regrets. He granted me a new, unique perspective to life, and he was one of a kind. I'm honored to have known Guy and to felt his warmth. May he continue to radiate it from above, and I speak for all of my family and for all of us. We love you, and we miss you.
And I'm Tanya Hunt DiCarlo. 28 years, I don't know how they've put up with us. So we love them. The DNA is across the cul-de-sac. Guy was the cul-de-sac king, the friend to everyone, the friend to our cats, to our dogs, to our kids, to our friends, to our contractors, to everybody. He was larger than life and still is. And today, you know, he always kidded me. He says, "Yeah, I feel sorry for you. You went to University of Michigan, you're a Wolverine. And we always have our fun banter, but today we're all Buckeyes. Love you, Guy. Thank you for everything. And in your honor and spirit, we will take care of your family. We will do the right things and do kind things, in your honor, because we love you and we love your family. Thank you for being so wonderful.
My name is Sean. Most of you probably don't know me. I didn't know Guy probably 4 months. But this is a tribute to him being larger than life, me not knowing him 4 months. I'm not even 50 yet. I got asked to play 50-year-old softball with him. Hadn't met Guy, but just at practice. We go down to a tournament, Florida Georgia weekend. I'm a big Gator, so that was hard for me to pull away from. But instantly, the first morning, me and Guy sit down and have breakfast before the tournament. The next morning, Guy and I have breakfast for the tournament. We go to watch the Florida Georgia game. I said, Guy, I'll drive. He's generous. He's willing to pay for breakfast. Let's go. We'll go to Glory Days. Me, him, and Mark Bailey, and he wants to drive. He's posting about you, posting about his kids, the car. I haven't even met any of them until today. And he took me under his wing, very first tournament. And I was like, I came home, tell my wife, FaceTime her while we're having breakfast. Me and him, Mark Bailey, hey, these are my new friends, and this is why I play softball, not because we went 0-4. Didn't care. Camaraderie and friendship is what I was trying to build as we get older in life. It's more important to me than losing. It's the camaraderie and relationships you build. Yeah, I'm sitting here going, man, this is an amazing guy. I was telling my wife, you got to meet Guy. Like, she FaceTime at breakfast. It's like, he's amazing. He's great. So I'm looking forward. I'm excited about playing ball with this team. We just went 0-4 because of Guy. And then Rick tells me he's having some problems. He's trying to get his health straight. And instantly I felt bad. And I text Guy that weekend, championship weekend. We live right around the corner on the other side next to Nice High School. And I said, hey, haven't been a very good teammate and a very good friend. How are you doing? I said, he's relaying a little bit about his health. He said, but I'll be back out there. And I said, good. For my selfish reasons, I want to play more tournaments with you. I want to be more with Guy and go with Guy. So a little bit today, I'm jealous of what you guys got to experience with him, because I would like to experience that with him as well. When you said, thinking of one and two things when you first met him, and when you got the news, instantly I lost it out there, because I remember instantly when I met him larger than life, and instantly when I got the news when I was sitting at work and I was in tears, because I just lost somebody that I wanted to build a relationship with. To Mr. DiCarlo, that's a tribute that, wow, amazing, larger than life man he is, that I was too short. I didn't get to spend more time with him. I want to tell you all that. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Doug Wilson, and unfortunately I don't know very many of you, but I know Guy here very well. And I have a different dimension, totally different dimension of Guy Jr.'s life. We've been hearing about softball and a lot of macho activities. I'm here from the Ponte Vedra Beach Library. The other end of the spectrum. Now, how does he fit in with the library? Well, we have a friends organization, and our largest source of income is book sales. Now, if you think about books, one thing you might come to mind, they're heavy. And you look at me, and you wonder how many guys my age are schlepping all these books. But Guy would help us schlepping these books, from the storage lockers into the book sale. And aside from me, I will say there's more women involved with this than men. So his help was tremendously appreciated. So this is a guy that has some dimensions that some of you maybe have not seen. So thank you so much. He's been a real gift to, I guess, this new community here. And we're extremely grateful for not only the efforts, but the leadership and the model that he presented to the Friends of the Library. Thank you.
Believe it or not, I'm super shy and a little proud, but I work with Gloria and Guy, and I didn't know Guy. I knew Guy as Gloria's husband, so for the Christmas party, but he was extremely nice. He would say, I didn't even know his name. He was like, "You want a drink?" Okay. So anyway, as he started working with us, I would come in with the keys and I would come in bursting through the door, hey! And I didn't know Guy at that time, but after several weeks, I walked in the room and he's like, he must have been feeling super confident that day. I was like, "Yo, Christy, what's up?" I looked at him like, "My name's Cynthia." So from that day on, I had to. So that's my number one. I can't discuss my number two because I will cry, like all of us. But my number two, I'll always remember as well. But number one, we laugh about it every day. My new name is Christy. Christy's my coworker. So my new name to the office is Christy, even though I'm Cynthia. Thank you for allowing me to share your family and your friend. Thank you. I'm Cynthia. I love you so much. I got you during the day. Oh, yeah.
Hey everyone, I've known Guy for probably about a year. I work with Gloria. My name is Jenna. This is Ashley. And Guy and I formed a really good relationship at work. We sat next to each other. We were always playing with each other and just being silly. He named me Agent 839 because I was 9 minutes late for work. So I was from that point forward, 839. But I want to tell you that he thought about my grandbaby. He would bring her things. He would send me things for her to do. He sent me funny texts all the time. But the last day I saw Guy was the Thursday before he passed. And he told me, Jenna, he laughed and he called me and he said, Jenna, your tire's flat. Please make sure you take care of that before you leave. So he was always thinking about other people, just like you said. And sure enough, my husband had to fix my tire the next day. So I grew to love him. And Gloria, I love you so much. And I'm always here for you. Always. Anyway, that's all.
Hello, I'm Al. I work with Guy and Gloria at the title company. I'm gonna miss Guy so very much because it's the little things that we say to each other, because I don't know if you understand the title business, but very busy. So you may only have 2 minutes to talk, or you may have 10 minutes. So you got everything in 2 minutes just in case you had 10 minutes, the other 8 was to breathe. And I think some of the biggest things I'm gonna miss is Regina saying, Guy, are those tennis shoes? Because that was the funniest thing, because Guy just did not like dress shoes. And so he bought these tennis shoes, and the type of tennis shoes, they were not lace up, they were the Velcro type thing. And he goes, no, they're not tennis shoes. And he kept right on walking. But he always had some fun. He always had a good time around Guy. And with Guy and I were the only 2 guys that were in the title, it just kind of all worked. And, we met Guy, I guess, 3 years ago. And Gloria, I want to say thank you for bringing him to us, because, you shared your life with Guy with us. And that was a lot for all of us. We had parties at Regina's house. He would go. We had my reception. He came. We had a good time. Guy was just fun. And I guess y'all all have heard that throughout the whole story of everyone saying, I'm going to miss him, I'm going to enjoy the good times. But you know what? I think one of the biggest things is Guy's not going to be on the other side of us laughing and carrying on or sending a text message. If you get a text message, Jenna, from him, let me know. And only Jenna would understand that. But before I leave, I think the ones who work with him the most, I think y'all will appreciate the statement, but y'all are the nicest. Understand what I'm saying that works with him. He'd come out of the room and the last thing he'd say, those were the nicest people. And you know, regardless of what type of closing it was, it could have been one that just, ooh, it was a bad closing, but they were the nicest people. You know, so it's just going to be the little things that we're going to miss about Guy. And me calling or telling on Friday what the schedule was for the following week and getting the little thumbs up from Guy. But we appreciate you sharing Guy with us, Gloria. I know you're going to miss him, but we're still going to be there for you. You're going to be there for us because we are our own little family. And Cynthia's right. It's just sometimes you just never knew what God was going to say. Yeah. And if he was talking with Stephen, chances are it was sports. And he kind of knew to go that way with sports. Go to Stephen. You know, we all had our own little thing we would talk to God. But I think one of the biggest will be to Regina. God, are those tennis shoes you're wearing? No, they're not. You just keep right on and go on. So I'm sorry Regina had to leave. She went back to the house. And but there's a couple that couldn't show today, and they all want Gloria to know that she had to bring kids. She's sorry she couldn't be here. Evelyn's here, and she actually brought Pete this time, not her boyfriend. So it's just the things that we all get to do and see. But again, family things your dad had, he's just a big hearted guy. As I think everyone has said that. You just didn't know what he was going to say when he said it. You know, he'd say something to Gloria, and I'd say, Guy, you're not going to say that in front of me to Gloria. And he'd look at me, and he'd sit over there with, I'm saying this to a brute, you're not going to do it. So, but anyway, I know y'all will miss him. But remember the good times you had with him. That's what counts. It's the good memories. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys might not know me. My name's Troy Stravinsky. I played softball with the man that we're honoring today. He was my pitcher. I was the catcher. And sit there, I remember times we'd sit there, get on that field, and umpire says, you need to go talk to your guy over there. He needs to get behind the net. I look at the umpire and I said, do you understand? This is a big gentleman. It's a little hard for him to get behind that screen. He is the screen, pretty much. He is a wonderful man. We're going to miss him. He's part of the family, the softball family, with the high risers. A brother. That is just the person he is. There is nothing I could say that I would give everything for it. And he's a special man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm Jackie, Gloria's younger sister. I did not prepare anything, and I'm going to tell you the real deal about Guy and Gloria, since you guys all have the happy endings here. Everyone's seen Tom and Jerry, how they fight, love. When Gloria told me that she had met this guy, and I was like, okay, met a guy. Okay, let me check him out. And then I met Guy. And I was like, that's a big guy. I'm not going to, give him any smart or be really nice to him. For being such a big guy, yes, Superman, and that's her Wonder Woman. He ended up being a great guy. He always showed us love. He always welcomed us. He always tried to fattened me up every time I went over at his house. He'd always ask if I want steak and potatoes. I don't know what. He liked to grill. But they, they had that funny kind of Tom and Jerry, I love you, I hate you, and they could have had their own TV show because between both of their expressions on their faces, but those expressions really meant love. And they did have a long-lasting love. And yes, as with any relationship, we have our ups and downs, but they had so many ups. And we did have a great family. We still do have a great family, and we still come together. So thank you all for coming. I know some of you come from down south, some are local. I'm 3 hours away now, thank God. Gloria lives closer now to me. So thank you all for coming for my family.
So everyone said everything they wanted to say.
I have
Has any last words?
I know this is hard for everybody. And I want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of you guys being here. I don't know if you guys all really know the story about how Guy and I met.
I was going to say it, but I was like, you want me to say that story?
I'm just going to give you a little short thing. Guy and I met at about 7 o'clock in the morning at a gas station. Who would think that I would meet the person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with at a gas station? Who knew? It was over coffee. I played it nice and smooth. I left the key on the counter and walked away. It's being slick. He's getting his coffee, and I come back. Oops, excuse me, I left my key on the counter. We started talking, and I walked outside, and he followed me. He gives me his card and says, hey, why don't you give me a call and we'll go out to dinner or something? Did not do that. I threw the car, his business card, into my car. Without even thinking, I thought I lost it. I was cleaning my car out like 2 weeks later, and I found his card underneath the seat. I don't even know how it ended up there. All right, back in the days, everybody knows that we had star 69 to block out the calls. I call him, didn't block my phone number out. And I said, hi, this is Gloria. We met at the gas station over coffee. And he's like, oh, yeah. Let me give you a call back. I said, okay, no problem. Hang up, and I'm like, oh, God, oh, no, I didn't block my number out. He called me right back within 5 minutes, okay? This man, for 2 weeks, we talked on the phone. He kept on asking me to go to dinner, go meet coffee, go to dinner, meet coffee. I said no. I finally caved in and said, I'll meet you for lunch. I met him for lunch, and that was the end of that. It was just love at first sight. We spent, oh my God, 20-something years together. Yes, we have had our ups and downs. Everybody has ups and downs. My mom met him at the hospital. Tyler was sick. I told him I was rushing Tyler to the emergency room. My mom hasn't met him yet. We go to the Memorial Hospital. Tyler's hooked up the IV, and I see this big guy walking back to the emergency room. I don't know how he got back there, but he did. Mom is standing there. I'm like, oh my God. She's like, he comes in with a tank top on, his shorts. Everybody knows, sunglasses on, and his tent and his sneakers. My mom's looking at him like this. Oh. He has tattoos. My dad was not against it because my sister has them. My family has tattoos. He was never against it. But my mom's first words were, if you're going to go and meet my husband, please please wear long sleeves
And long pants.
and long pants. Sure enough, he did. But then again, he kicked it off with my dad. My dad and Guy, Timmy, and Jeff, the son-in-laws, they were non-stoppable. Want to go to Bileski? We're going to Bileski. Let's go, guys. We're going gambling. We're going to the Bahamas. We're going gambling. We're going to Vegas. We're going gambling. He would be on he would just go. Just go. He was intimidating when you looked at him, but deep inside, he was the biggest teddy bear ever. He did anything and everything for any person. No questions asked. Didn't say no. I mean, yeah, he did say no to me a couple times. But, I mean, many times. One thing I remember.
He said it, then he gave in.
Then he gave in, exactly.
He's like, here you go, Laura.
Yep. One thing I always remember too, what he always used to say, the night that we got married, it was a couple months later, we started watching the Big Fat Greek Wedding. It was like about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. He calls my dad.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, what is wrong with this picture? My dad's like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, where's my house? Oh, yeah. I married your daughter. Why didn't you buy me a house? So it was always the back and forth, joking around and talking. But like everybody says that, you know, he was very big, tall, intimidating. But deep inside, he was a teddy bear. If you needed him, he's right there in a heartbeat. No questions asked, he's there for you. He was a great father. Yes, you guys had your ups and downs, but guess what? Dad always had each of your backs. He was a great grandfather. He was a great uncle. To those who weren't even his nieces and nephews, he was a great uncle. They used to call him Google Guy. Uncle Guy. He was just a guy that you would just, hey, I want to be friends with you, no matter what. And he had everybody's. I just want to say to each and one of you, please, please, cherish your loved ones. You don't know when, where, or how. Enjoy your life each day and live your life to the fullest, because that's what he would want it. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for being here. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for showing up. The father appreciated it, the family appreciates it. As his youngest son, I can definitely say that he would have loved to see all of you and welcome all of you. Not like nothing happened, whether it be years or months. My father would be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? You hungry? Eat some food. He was always there. So thank you all for coming, for all showing up. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Can you let everybody know about the house, please?
Oh, yes. After this, we'll be going back to Guy Senior's house. We have food, drinks, please, everyone. You're welcome to come, enjoy yourselves, share stories, talk, enjoy what we are as a family. Whether you're friends of a month, years, it doesn't matter. Please, God would want you to be there, we want you there. So we extend our house to you. Please, come and enjoy yourselves. Thank you.
There's something inside you said, yeah.
It's very good.
Well, thank you.
Oh,